Just when you thought Boruto cannot get more creative and more overpowered, you end up being proven wrong. Because in the recent chapter, we learned that Boruto created his own variation of the Flying Thunder God technique. The same Flying Thunder God technique that was not only created by Tobirama and was then popularized by Minato, but now there's another version of it, and this one is extremely overpowered and is also divine in its nature. In today's Explaining Boruto lore video, not only going to be explaining Boruto's imitation Flying Thunder God technique, but I'm also going to be explaining how it works and why Boruto created it in the first place, and how did the Boruto of the present learn to do this. Alright, so Boruto's imitation Flying Thunder God is based off of Space-Time Ninjutsu, which is considered to be a basic Otsutsuki ability. How Space-Time Ninjutsu works is this. It instantly transfers objects or any person or anyone to pretty much any location. So Boruto has manifested this several times in the past, but it was mainly due to circumstances or situations that were out of his control, and he still hasn't mastered it yet. But 6 years from now, Boruto succeeds in controlling space-time ninjutsu. By assigning chakra to ninja tools and sensing them, Boruto can instantly teleport to any location. It's pretty much been changed into a ninjutsu that allows for free and unrestrained movement. This version of Boruto's imitation Flying Thunder God technique was inspired by his grandfather Minato Namikaze, who specialized in this jutsu. Boruto's version of the Flying Thunder God technique was a controlled method of space-time ninjutsu. It produced nearly identical results to the Flying Thunder God jutsu, but it wasn't necessarily the real Flying Thunder God jutsu, or it didn't possess its essence in a way. So he uses metal objects as a medium. Stuff like shurikens, swords, accessories, and utensils were chosen as mediums due to their chakra conductivity. So let's just say the objects are within visible range. Boruto can easily and accurately teleport to those objects, since it's sort of like close distance teleportation in a sense. However, here's the problem. If the objects have similar shapes, it's going to be difficult. Let's just say Boruto throws those similar shaped objects at far distances. Let's just say far north and far south. Well, Boruto will be unable to figure out which one he's going to teleport to, since it will be difficult for him to imagine where he's going to go. So for this reason, in the future, Boruto uses various of different shapes to make it easier for him to imagine it and accurately teleport to it, even over great distances. However, it's not as easy as just teleporting to that object. It requires more focus and more concentration in order to pull it off. So in short, the farther away it is, the more difficult it gets for Boruto. Thanks to Kashikoji using the 10 directions Shinjutsu technique, he helped Boruto accelerate his training by imparting this knowledge onto him. Look, Boruto, the future you will build this theory and knowledge over the coming years, but the current you has obtained in just a few minutes. After all, knowledge is just knowledge. Until you truly master Flying Thunder God, don't forget that extraordinary training is essential. Pretty much what Boruto would eventually learn in 6 years due to both theory, trial, and error, he was able to master within 2 years thanks to Kashikoji. Okay, so I think I've already explained why Boruto's Flying Thunder God is so much more limited than Minato's, but for those of you guys who still doesn't understand, let me explain. Minato's Flying Thunder God relies on complex seal-based formulas that acts as GPS markers. If he places them on anyone or anything, he won't have to do a lot of guesswork to figure out which one he's going to teleport to. But for Boruto, he's assigning chakra to various objects, so he has to visualize and sense them. And if they're all identical in shape, it's going to be hard for him to do that. So, like I said before, Minato's Flying Thunder God is pretty much like using a GPS with an exact address. You know exactly where you're going almost every time. And for Boruto's imitation Flying Thunder God, it's like trying to find your way with landmarks. If the landmarks look similar or far away, it's going to be harder to know which one to go to. Boruto's version is powerful, but it's not as precise as Minato's, which is why it's so much trickier to use in some situations. And that is all for today's video. One thing I do want to say is this. The fact that Boruto combined the legendary Flying Thunder God Jutsu with that of space-time ninjutsu is not only a stroke of genius on Boruto's part, but it shows us what kind of shinobi he is. He incorporated jutsu from his grandfather's lineage and his Otsutsuki biology to create something extremely formidable. With this version of the Flying Thunder God Jutsu, Boruto can teleport to great distances and dimensions. This tells us that Boruto is a force to be reckoned with in the ninja world. And I really do hope that there are other abilities that he will unlock and gain access to in the near future. But that is all for today's video. This is the Immortal Phoenix, and I'm signing right out. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But if you guys could, for me, please like the video, subscribe to the page, and ring that notification bell icon for more Boruto lore explained videos. This would be considered episode 5 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, peace out and have a great day, guys.